Have you ever pulled a muscle? Have you ever had a strain? Do you ever have constant knee, hip or back pain? Well, what I'm about to show you is a range of dynamic stretches that will change your performance in the gym for the better. What's going on YouTube? I hope you're all having a good day today. I'm sorry it's taken me a little while to upload something for you. Today's video is going to be fitness related, and I'm going to take you through what I would do most mornings, most evenings, and prior to any exercise, my dynamic stretch routine. Now there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reasons why you should perform dynamic stretches prior to any exercise and at certain times during the day. I'm going to go on to explain when you should be doing these stretches and how to do these stretches by showing you what I would do as part of my routine. Now you might be thinking to yourself, stretching, I ain't got time to do stretching. Make time to do stretching. If this video gives you any piece of advice or information, do some stretching. Start to do your mobility stretches before you train. Start getting the blood moving around the body before you start lifting weights. It is imperative for you as young, middle-aged or elderly fitness enthusiasts that go to the gym regularly, or even if you go to the gym once a week. Get your stretches in, guys. I cannot emphasize it enough. So some of the excuses I used to get were, I don't have enough time to stretch, Dan. If I stretch with you, it will waste 10 minutes of my personal training session with you. Now, one thing I used to say to my clients is, you have me for an hour. Okay? You need to utilize as much of my knowledge as possible in that hour. You're paying me good money. I need to provide a good service. I see it time and time again. Personal trainers will stand next to their clients while they're warming up, having a chat about what they've done at the weekend, having a chat about their next door neighbour sleeping with someone else on the street. Let's cut the small talk out, provide a service for your client that takes an hour of you concentrating on what they're doing, how they're doing it, and then progressing them through the session over that 60 minutes. So what I would say to my clients is, you're booked in at 10 o'clock in the morning. What I'd like you to do is come in at 9:45. I'm going to be with someone else anyway. Come in at 9:45, do your 10-minute warm-up on the cross trainer or on the treadmill or on the bike, and then do your dynamic stretches so that come 10 o'clock you are ready for me to get straight into that workout with you. Dynamic stretching is stretching using movements such as squatting, lunging, or mainly rotating a muscle or manipulating it in a certain way that doesn't overexert your stretch or your muscle, but helps optimize your performance in the gym, creates more insertion for blood occupancy, and helps prepare and warm up your body better than any other movement in the gym prior to exercise. Now why should you do dynamic stretches then? What are the advantages of dynamic stretches? Number one, warming up the muscles to their working temperature, therefore improving the function of the actual muscle itself. Number two, dynamic stretching will prepare your body better for a higher intensity exercise. Number three, have you ever seen people, whenever they're stretching statically, they tend to yawn? Because it's boring. Like, you're not moving your body at all, you're holding a specific position. I've done it before, and I see footballers doing it a lot as well. Not so much on the TV, but where I've played football over the years, Saturdays and Sundays, I've seen it all the time. Where, you know, you'll be sort of pulling your leg up at the back. That's a most common static stretch for a footballer, to stretch the quad and hip flexor. You're holding their leg and you're yawning. You know, you're having a conversation with your mate standing next to you. Mobility stretches and dynamic stretches, as I've just explained in this video, they require you to move. They require you to concentrate a bit more. So you're less likely to feel sleepy and drowsy when you're stretching. Dynamic stretching will also improve your functionality, flexibility and general movement of your body. A lot of people that are injured, and I've had people come to me with back problems, the worst thing you can do with someone like that is give them a static stretch straight off the bat. The body ain't warm, you're telling them to touch their toes and stretching out those muscles in the lower back and around the spine. You want to gradually build them into doing that. So at first you say to them, okay, all I want you to do is bend over halfway or a quarter of the way. Start moving down the left leg, start moving down the right leg. Move in different planes of motion, okay? Rotation, transforming muscles diagonally, up, down, left, right. Now there are many different types of dynamic stretches that you can do. Some, for me, and what I'm about to show you now, I've sort of made up in my own head. It works for me, it might not work for you. However, have a look, see what you think, comment down below. If it's something that you would like to pursue, then watch the video to the end, take notes, and also have a look at the type of positioning that I'm getting myself into. I'm not rigid, I'm not stiff, I'm quite loose, I'm starting off nice and easy, and then I slowly progress and progress and progress. And I make sure that I do my upper and lower body. Alright, so here's some basic dynamic stretches that you can do as part of your workout before you train. Now, as you can see, I am building up a bit of a sweat. I'm starting to get a little bit out of breath. This is what you want. This is good for your metabolism. First thing in the morning, it resets your body after you've just been asleep. You may have been laying a certain way for 7, 8, 9 hours. You may have been laying down with your knees cramped up like this. and your hips cramped up like this. And the amount of tension that's going to be put through not only your hip flexor, but through your lower back as well. Sleeping like this, you might sleep with your arm out, you might be laying on your arm. That's not too good for the shoulder. The only way that you can stop and sort of immobilize these mobility issues is by getting up, doing 15 minutes dynamic stretching on the stuff that I've just showed you now. And you don't have to follow mine. You can do if you want to, that is just what I do. You don't have to follow mine. There's plenty of ROM workouts out there that you can do, but one thing that is essential is there are 3 times that are imperative throughout the day that you should be taking on board dynamic stretches. And obviously, as I said earlier, dynamic stretches meaning that you are moving, you are mobilizing the stretch. You're not standing there and performing a static hold of a stretch, because as we know, the muscles are not correctly warmed up, and you could, and I say could because not everybody gets injured, you could get injured from doing static stretches when you're not warmed up and there's no blood in the muscle. So 3 main times to try and do your stretching. That is, as soon as you wake up in the morning, get that 15 minutes in. Just wake up 15 minutes earlier, get your coffee, get your kettle boiled, get your coffee or your tea on, whatever you like to have. Get your porridge in the microwave, something, while you're waiting for it to cook. Start doing your mobility stretches. So first thing in the morning, last thing at night, the very last thing you do before you get in bed, just spend, you don't have to spend 15 minutes because your heart rate will come up. Just spend 5 to 10 minutes doing some really low intense dynamic stretching. You can do it, you can have your dressing gown on, you've brushed your teeth, you've had a shower, you've got your hot water bottle ready, you've got your favourite teddy in bed. Do it before you go to bed. Thirdly, pre-exercise. Now I see it time and time again that I go into the gym and I see, and it's mainly blokes to be honest, I'm stereotyping us males, you will come into the gym, you'll fill up your water bottle, you'll go straight into the free weight section. There's no warm up, there's no intense mobilisation of your body. You are literally prone to becoming injured. And that is where most injuries stem from, is that people do not spend the time in doing what they should do prior to their exercise. So the next gym session you do, go in, spend 5 minutes on the bike, the cross trainer, have a slow walk on the treadmill, get the blood moving around the body, get the blood pumping around the body, start hitting your dynamic stretches, guys. I cannot express to you how important it is to do those dynamic stretches. Even what I've just done there, and it's taken me just over 10 minutes to do all that, spending 10 reps for each exercise or 30 seconds for each dynamic stretch, whatever you want to do, base it on reps or base it on time, or just base it on how you feel. There's no right or wrong with this. The only wrong is if you don't do it.